You wanna know what happens in this movie? Nothing.
I didn't create this. This is not what I had in mind. Things at the circle, they need to change. Everything recorded, seen, broadcast is stored and analyzed here.
The Circle is directed by James Ponsoldt, who directed the end of the 2-hour movie which I reviewed about a year ago. I thought it was really good. It was really nice and I enjoyed it. The Circle also stars Emma Watson, Tom Hanks and John Boyega, if you can call Tom Hanks and John Boyega as well as starring, because it's really more Emma Watson with a bit of Karen Gillan at the beginning, and then towards the end Karen Gillan's sort of replaced by Tom Hanks, whereas John Boyega has about 3 or 4 scenes. So the premise of The Circle is this, is that Emma Watson, she's stuck in a dead-end job and her friend Karen Gillan gets an interview to The Circle, which is basically this Google meets social media, like if Google Plus was what they wanted it to be, like this is what it would be. And she earns the job and she becomes really popular working for The Circle, and she attracts the attention of like John Boyega and Tom Hanks, and she sort of is just rising up the ranks and innovating new stuff and new technologies coming to fruition, and it sort of raises the idea of, hey, we have, like, when's the level for privacy? And they're just like, nah, technology innovation, technology innovation, technology innovation, privacy. Is really nothing happens. There's no conversation about privacy at all. It's all about we can innovate technology. And the way that the trailer pitched it is sort of like this. Alright, so Emma Watson, she's new to this company, she starts rising through the ranks, she realizes it's all corrupt and that privacy is not what it seems. And then she exposes them. And it becomes like, it's this 2-hour drama based around Emma Watson exposing Tom Hanks and the Circle Corporation. What really is like this. Alright, so Emma Watson joins the company The Circle. That's what happens. Because really, nothing happens in this movie at all. Like, it just ferments in boring, pointless scenes which frequently occur, and it just becomes boring and overlong, and it just becomes boring. That's the only way to describe The Circle, and that's really disappointing because I was really interested in it. And even all the performances come off kind of bland. I mean, Tom Hanks is charismatic, but he's fine. John Boyega's not that good. Patton Oswalt's okay. And Emma Watson's okay. No one gives an outstanding performance. It's just more everyone's going through the motions of acting. The direction isn't even that, like, that doesn't feel that great either. It just feels off. And this movie feels like, hey, it could have been 3 hours long, or it could have been the same length, just you move the point of realization about The Circle up by about an hour. Like, really, because I was mind blown by this. I was watching I was looked at my watch and I'm just like, oh, nothing's happened. I thought we were like halfway through the movie. No, we have 20 minutes left. Literally nothing that important to the plot happens until about there's 20 minutes left in the movie. And then that happens and it's just like, whoa. The Circle, it's very disappointing. It's very boring. I still can't get over that nothing happens throughout the movie. Like, almost nothing. Like, there's such a missed opportunity for what this movie could have been and what it ended up being, and you could have had such a good conversation about privacy and about the theme of like surveillance and whatnot, and how everyone's being forced to do something, and then you take that conversation, you reference it a little bit, like with one line. Like, I'm not joking, there's about only 2 lines and maybe 2 points about surveillance in the movie, and then they shelf it. They're just like, alright, here it is, shelf. Oh, just before I go as well, this movie has rapid character changes and character arcs that just seem to occur without a scene. It's just like you took the beginning of the character and you got the end of the character and you got no transition. You got no real motivation for what the characters are. It's just sort of like, alright, so to explain, hang on, I'm just going to go brief spoilers, but super brief, and it's going to be about one of the supporting characters. So Karen Gillan starts off the movie super encouraging, and then in the middle of the movie she's very down and she's very angry and she seems very distasteful towards Emma Watson, and then to the end of the movie she's fine. There is no explanation that shows the transition to make it clean. It just appears chunky to break up the first, second, third act. And hell, even with this movie, the first act might as well be the second act as well, because nothing happens. And that's just really, really disappointing, because it's just something I wanted to see well done, and it definitely had the potential to, and it's just wasted potential. Hell, to even quote the movie, what are you most afraid of? Unobtained potential, and it's just that reference in the movie. I'm just like, oh, you just summed yourself up so perfectly. The Circle is boring. It's boring, it's bland, it's tasteless, the acting's only okay. I always say The Circle, don't want to touch it with a long pole. Have you seen The Circle? What did you think of it? Like, what's your opinion about surveillance? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe and comment on the Platypus, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh wow, you made it to the end of the video. Good job. How about you click that subscribe button for more content? Or click one of these two videos. You know, either one's good enough.